Hey y'all, welcome back to my Purest Alchemy channel. My name is Brianna, if you don't know me, and this is my Purest Alchemy channel where we talk about all things under the sun alike that comes to my mind, as well as case studies, experiences, and the whole nine. So today I have a little bit of a different video. Today's video is going to be about this episode that I saw on My Strange Addiction, and it really stuck with me. It really stuck with me because the woman who was in this episode, she had an addiction to basically rubbing her vagina juice on herself, rubbing her pheromones on herself from her vagina juice because she really wanted to attract the man and attract the relationship.
Put it like down my neck and on my wrist. When I first started, I would go up there, and the more I did that, I started to create rips in my vagina on my vaginal wall. So now I use coconut oil as lubrication. I'm always sticking my hands in my vagina, so I wash my hands a lot. If I got a boyfriend, it would be really amazing. But I wouldn't stop vabbing. I would just do it in secret because I would think that that's how he became attracted to me. So I would want to keep on doing what would make the person stay. So I'm gonna do it again. Okay. If I can't fab, I am spraying the mist that I made. And yeah. This is like months worth of like secretion. I do it because I feel like maybe someone will walk by and say, oh, hey, like, you know, you smell good. Like, how are you? I don't think I smell like vagina. I don't know, but I don't think I do because no one has ever said that I did. I'm in my 30s and I've never had a relationship. And it's supposed to attract a man, and I'm hoping that it will, because if it's not, then I'm just doing.
Now, I really don't think that there's anything wrong with wanting a relationship. I think that as you progress and you get older into your age, you realize that you want to share your love with people, right? You realize that there's nothing as sweet as just taking the time out to be with somebody that you love, and that is okay. I think that that's beautiful. Now, the only thing that I am going to explain in this video is that I'm not a fashion expert, nor am I a critic of fashion or a critic of like makeup or anything of that sort, but I do have a good eye. So I did go to cosmetology school, so I do have an eye when it comes down to what beautifies people. I love makeovers. Ever since I was a kid, ever since I was a young girl. I don't know if anybody knows about those video games or those games where you do makeup and you do makeovers on the dolls. I don't remember. I know that Polly Pocket was one of them. I used to love me some Polly Pocket and her outfits, and she was fly, okay? So that's one of them that I used to really indulge in. I believe that that was training my eye to see what looks good and what doesn't. Now, the thing about Cassie, right? Cassie, I really don't think that it's the vabbing. That's what I had to say about this. And if she had some sisters, some homegirls around her, they would let her know, baby, it's time you upgrade this look. I'm not trying to say it in a way where I'm trying to diss her. If me and her were friends, I would definitely hook her up with a nice look that frames her face, that frames her eyes, because she had beautiful eyes, beautiful skin, body was tea. I did see a nice little shape. She goes on a date, and when she goes on this date, she's a little socially awkward. Now, the thing that I have to say about people with social awkwardness is that building your social skills is just like a muscle. It's not easy, honestly. Like, especially if you weren't, let's say, like the most conventionally attractive by the beauty standards that have been placed in this world, that most of the magazines, TV media go by. If you don't look exactly like that, then it's gonna cause some type of alienation when it comes down to the attention that you get. And I do empathize with her a lot. So I took it upon myself to take the time out to see how it would look, because when I'm looking at her, I see that she has beautiful skin. I see that she has beautiful eyes, beautiful big eyes, but you can't really see them because they're in dark, heavy makeup, right? So I took it upon myself to do an editing of what I feel would look really good, would bring out her skin complexion, would allow for you to see her eyes more. And the red lip that she wears is fine. It looks pretty on her. But the heavy makeup makes her look more grunge. It makes her look a little bit more depressed. It makes her aura look dark. And she's very bubbly, very sweet. She needs something that's gonna match that on the outside. This is, I had so much fun making this, guys. Right? What do we think? I believe that the highlights, the reddish blondish highlights, she has a little bit of reddish yellow undertones, pinkish undertones there. So I believe that it's important that she brings that out with her hairstyle. The dark blunt cut, it doesn't look good on her face shape. Her face shape is very round. So when you have a round face shape, blunt cuts make your face look even more round. Don't really know how to explain it, but hair that's outward, it kind of just frames your face in a better way. So I thought that, yeah, she needs something that's gonna match her face shape. Now, when it comes down to the vabbing, she said that she got that off the internet. I don't know who. I just want to say this real quick. I don't know who is going out of their way besides Erykah Badu, who's selling her coochie scent off of incense. But that's Erykah Badu. Okay? I don't know who started that trend. Because you got people thinking that they're going to get a man by rubbing their vagina juice on them when they already have a hard time socializing. If you're going to put any type of trend out there, why don't you take the time out to also let people know that there's something that you have to there's things that you have to work on when it comes down to socializing with people before you put vagina juice on your face or on your neck or whatever the case may be, right? I do think that it's a little trifling. It is. You know, not to judge Cassie at all, but Cassie, it didn't work. It hasn't worked. It hasn't gotten you a man. Because that's not how you get him. You're not just going to do that by doing things on the outside, boo. You got to work on the things that make you magnetic. And I'm sure that there's something inside of her that makes her extremely magnetic, right? The fact that she's a little bit, she's bold, right? That is very magnetic. But when you're doing it in a form of, I'm trying to do something instead of, I am who I am and I am who I am, then it comes off like you're trying too hard. You are trying too hard when you're doing all that, because can't nobody really tell the difference. You know, you're addicted to something. So that addiction is causing for you to not see why this is a blockage when it comes down to you finding a man. Shout out to Olipop though. Crisp Apple, love me some Olipop. I'm not really promoting it though. I just love me some Olipop.
Really cannot say that vabbing is helpful in finding a partner. Worry that, is it keeping you from sharpening communication skills that are really going to help you to create that bond with someone?
Another tip that I wanted to accentuate as well is that you have more flowing conversations, right? Conversation rules the nation. If you are able to hold conversations with people, sometimes it really does take away that tension of wanting that person to be your man, or having that idea of, oh, I need to go out there and tonight's the night I find my man. It takes less pressure off of it because you really get to know people. You really get to take the time out to see where people are at, where their heads are at when you take the time out to have conversations with them. You don't have to go out of your way to make every interaction the one, right? And that's what social skills teach you. Teach you how to be a little bit more open, more flowing, less taking things personal all the time. And also it allows you to actually build relationships with people when you are moving through life, which is very important. You know, she's 32 years old. So not being social, it could really cause for opportunities to be missed, right? I mean, I feel like whenever you do decide to take the time out to grow as a woman, you realize that sometimes being shy, it does hold you back in a lot of situations, because you never know who's out there who's willing to assist you, to take you to that next level. You never know who's out there who you could learn a lot from. Like, conversations really do rewire neuroplasticity in your brain. So you learn a lot from talking to people. You learn a lot about human nature. There's nothing wrong with her. It's just really just the fact that she is doing she's skipping a lot of steps when it comes down to finding a man. Like, I feel like, yeah, you could find a man, but is it gonna be the man that you want? Like, but it hasn't worked. And it hasn't worked because it's a little bit extreme when you're not paying attention to the things that are blocking you, right? You know, being a little bit more open, being a little bit more fluid in your energy. You know, you can feel that you're a little bit closed off. Now, I don't want to sit here and diagnose her with anything, but somebody has said that she might have like autism or something like that. I don't know if she got autism, but at the end of the day, I don't really feel like just because you got autism, you can't find love. Like, that doesn't mean anything. There's a show called Love on the Spectrum, which I love. I think that's a great show. And then finding clothes that are more flattering, that would fit her better. I believe that is something, you know, developing your style as a woman is a very juicy experience, because there comes a certain point in time where those preteen clothes, they get old, and you want to start feeling a little bit more statuesque. You want to start feeling a little bit more glamorous. So, or you want to start feeling a little bit more grown, and your sense of style, it really does reflect that. And listen, like I said, I'm not no fashion expert, but I do know how to put a little 1-2 together, make me look a little bit more grown than what I am. So I feel like I have the right to comment on it. And either way, style is something that develops through time, through trial and error and experience. Oh, I like the way this feels and I don't like the way that feels, right? Like 2 years ago, I started realizing the way polyester and nylon felt in my body, and I hated it, right? Like, I would feel very claustrophobic in on my own clothes, until I started switching to more garments that had cotton and linen in them, and that felt a lot better. That made me realize, like, oh, my style is changing and this cheap shit is not working for me. So that's another tip that I would have for her, you know, like, pay attention to how clothes feel on your body, as well as wearing things that are a little bit more flattering when it comes down to style. Because, you know, it's one thing to have your own personal style, yeah, but we live in a world that's vain. Like, a lot of people, you know, I really don't think that it matters all the time, but it does matter. Like, people will try to make it seem like it doesn't matter, but humans are very much so the type to, they will listen to somebody who's more beautiful rather than listen to somebody who might be telling the truth, but they clothes a little dingy. Honestly, it's just the way it is. It's like, people don't really take you serious if you look like you don't take yourself serious, right? So I wanted to talk about this because I really think that I really saw potential in her. I really said, she's not ugly at all. This is just a little bit too awkward. It's a little bit extreme in trying to find a man. So I really wanted to comment on this, because I think that women could understand that when it comes down to, like, let's say if you really want a man, right? There are times where you don't have to go to the extreme to get one. All you got to do is just focus on what makes you feel good, right? Focus on developing yourself. Focus on creating your own identity, because that is what attracts the person to you. Like, if you're looking for a certain person, if you are externalizing that feeling of, I need a man, I want a man, I'm 32, I have no social skills, and I'm this and I'm that, and then I put my fingers in my vagina to attract men. You're externalizing what you think would work when it comes down to it. But if you had some sisters around you we would tell you, baby, this is an internal job. And then you got to do some things on the outside to spruce it up a little bit. Make yourself feel sexy. You're not sexy in your own body, right? You could feel that you're not sexy in your own body. You could feel that you're not sexy in your own aura, in your own, you know, you hunched over, your posture is like this, you know, you looking like this. Yeah, so, you know, you gotta work with. I think that there was a certain point in time where there were etiquette classes. You feel me? There were etiquette classes. There were classes where women would work on their gracefulness. And I've never taken one of these classes, never. But I can see how that would be very beneficial to somebody like Cassie. Maybe I would love to take one day. I don't think that there's one way to be feminine, but I think that if you have a goal in mind, let's see how we can get you to that goal, right? Like, that's how I think about it. Any questions? Any comments? Like, share, subscribe. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Cheers, Alchemy out. Love you.